What's going on, everybody? So I should be live here now. Took me a while to figure out how to get this going, but we should be good to go now. And we're going to be watching Gamescom live to see if hopefully they say anything good or new about next gen gaming in general. So as more of you guys come in, or as people start to talk and all that good stuff, we'll start to see what the deal is. Now I'm still getting set up here, so don't mind me. I'll be moving around in the background, but it'll be fun to see what they say. Now I've got the volume set down here pretty low on the television because I don't want to get hit with any kind of copyright or anything like that. But we're just going to be talking about what we see as far as Gamescom. So far, I haven't really seen anything, obviously, as you guys haven't. They did their little pre show, and that's pretty much all I saw so far. But you never know when they could decide to do something a little different as well. So, I'm not going to dock them too hard for not coming out of the gate the strongest. So far, we're just in this trailer for some Call of Duty game, I think, and that's just kind of what it is. We've got, hold on, I got to pull this up here. We've got, let me see. All chats are visible. I might as well do that. All right, so let's see. The question was, what is the best TV you have ever reviewed? That's hard because I don't really pick sides when it comes to TVs. I think best TV I ever reviewed. It's hard because I don't really rate it off of that. I think it's hard because you have to meet so many metrics like motion, black level, color, clarity, upscaling. There's too many metrics, and I haven't met a single TV that can do all of those metrics at one time. I think in one way or another, the ones that I rate really highly do pretty much all that stuff. So to say that there's a best, I can't really say that. I think I have favorites, things that I like my 900E. Then a Z9D is awesome. The KS8000, my Sony A8H, which I'm live streaming this off of. The Hisense H9G, but like I can't really pinpoint and say this one TV is the best TV I've ever reviewed ever. I just can't do that because I think there's always room for improvement. All right, let's see some of these other questions we have here in the chat. We've got Rebel47. You said, is Samsung TV any good in 2020? No, in 2020 they aren't trying. Most of their push is for 8K, and if you don't want to buy 8K, then they're not going to give you a TV worth the quality that you're paying for. So, honestly speaking, I think you're better off just moving on, and that's just as honest as it can get. Now, let's see some more questions we have here. We've got Crimson Fi. What's going on? You said thanks for doing what you do, and no problem, man. I appreciate you coming out as well and just kind of hanging out and watching Gamescom with us. So something called Awakening Unknown. I don't really know what that is. What he's standing on right now, it kind of looks like the Harry Potter symbol, though. And big shout out to David Gonzalez for the super chat for $4.99. I really appreciate it. You said, "What up, Q? Can't wait for you to review the Vizio P Series Quantum X and OLED." You said, "Here's a little something for the channel, buddy." I appreciate it, man. You know it goes a long way. All this self-funding stuff and crowdfunding stuff. It's hard to fight against the bigger guys that want to, as you clearly see, push that narrative that they do push. But hey, at the end of the day, we were getting the job done, and I appreciate guys like you looking out for the channel and keeping us operational. So thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Now we've got Crimson Fi. You said, "Sure thing, buddy. Not a problem, man." I tell you, I'm doing these live streams now on a different. He said, "When's the face reveal coming?" Now I won't be doing that one. I've got a family to protect, and I've got a lot of enemies I make by exposing the ring of AV enthusiasts and reporters. So there's no chance of me ever doing a face reveal. It's just too dangerous. You have a lot of people that are literally constantly watching and waiting for me to slip up. So there's just no way I would ever do something like that to myself or my family. But I would like to. I'm not gonna lie. There are moments where I'm just like, screw it, I'll just do it. I don't really care. But I have a family to protect, and I've seen how compulsively obsessive people like Ninjishin get and a West Side Tech. You guys have seen it throughout the years. The unhealthy compulsion and obsession with everything that I talk about. So there's no way that with a family to protect, I would ever do anything like that. So yeah, unfortunately, the face reveal is going to have to stay ixnayed. But what's going on? a deal. What's going on? You said if Sony and Samsung claim their supreme local dimming algorithm, then why were their 2020 and 2019 TVs showed so much gray, black, and blooming? Wait, I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you. I think a lot of what is happening right now is they're putting stuff on the box. They know they can get away with it because 90% of the reviewers are just going to damage control it or say that it's not a problem. Really, for most people, it won't be a problem. And that's been a tagline we've heard time after time again on all these channels. And I think when you start hearing that, like, oh, it won't be a problem, it won't be a problem, it just kind of then creates a narrative like, no matter what happens, the end result will always be like, you know, this TV is going to be fine. And I think that's where the problem, because if you don't want to come out and say something's clearly good or bad, I mean, how can they ever improve? And that's really my position with a lot of these things. So I think it is what it is there. And shout out to everybody that's coming in. I appreciate you guys stopping by and just kind of hanging out as we watch Gamescom 2020. It's weird that they call it opening night live. It's like so weird because like here where I'm at on the East Coast, it's daylight and really bright out, and it's so weird to see it like nighttime somewhere else. But it's still the same country, so it's still very weird, time zones and all that. Now I'm probably gonna reach in the back here and grab my remote and turn it up a little bit. And let's hope we don't get hit with a copyright strike. Lord knows how they get about these things. We're just gonna... But now how I'll do it, I'll keep the remote near me, so if I see something I think will be a copyright or something that could be troublesome, I'll just end it right there.
25th anniversary of a legendary game studio, BioWare. Tonight, Casey Hudson and the team wanted to give everyone around the world a little taste of what's next. Casey, over to you.
Hey Jeff, it's great to see you again. 6 years ago, we were on the stage with you at the 2014 Game Awards, accepting the Game of the Year for Dragon Age Inquisition. And since then, we've been imagining new ways to use next-generation technology to bring the world and characters of Dragon Age to life. We're still in early production, but we thought it was time to give you the very first look at how BioWare's passionate team of developers are crafting this very special game.
We've got Crimson Fi. What's going on? You said, do you know about any sound bars? And you said, because I'm getting the Bose 700 series, the full set. I think when I was reviewing sound bars, or at least looking at them for myself, the Sony that I have right now, the Z9F soundbar, the Sonos, I don't know the exact model, and the Bose, those were the three best soundbars I saw. I didn't see anything else outside of those that were even worth their weight in gold. Samsung was way too muffled and focused way too much on bass. LG started crackling after a few minutes, and honestly, I just went with what I knew worked. Which is odd because I started off when I was going into soundbar purchases being exclusively an LG guy. I really loved LG, and even still in my living room I have an LG soundbar that I use every single day and have for many years. So it's very weird that I had to take that approach, but yeah, no, things definitely do change in the market. All right, so we've got Lemonhead. What's going on? You said most honest YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Anthony said, I wish Rockstar would announce Grand Theft Auto 6, and you said it's going to be released 8 years since GTA 5. Probably. They definitely aren't being proactive there. TCL 8 series for $9.99. Is it a good buy? Yes, for that price I think it's fair for what they're offering. We have a deal. What's going on? You said what's more messed up is the public accepting these cheap TVs and still giving them praises for black levels. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the part that really is most disheartening. These companies aren't trying, and they're getting paid top dollar to not try. And when people like me come out and we say otherwise, it's just like you get slammed with all kinds of nonsense. So we have Dennis. You said, do you expect ATC S 3.0 to be in the next 2021 TVs? As far as 2021, I don't really have many expectations outside of maybe more pushes for HDMI 2.1. I've learned when I start setting expectations, they always let me down in some way. We've got Kelly. What's going on? You said, how's the C10? I think the C10 is a good option, but just don't buy it as like your HDMI 2.1 TV because they don't have the full bandwidth. And while, yes, you can only experience 12-bit color on a 12-bit TV, the coverage that is found in the main 10 profile can be transferred into HDMI. And right now, LG only supports HEVC over USB playback. And if they ever decide to go to HDMI playback for Dolby Vision with that same HEVC codec, then you're going to be left behind because it doesn't have the bandwidth enough to be able to pick up on that. So I think that's another one of the really, really annoying things. But otherwise, it does have a full feature set, and I think that's really nice. But honestly speaking, I haven't been a fan of LG's color in particular, and they do still have a black crushing issue to a small degree. So if you can get past the sour reds that look a little towards the blood orange, then maybe LG might be good. But LG has some work to do to their TVs, and nobody's really calling them out for it. So I think you'll be disappointed if you're expecting this day and night difference from every single thing on the market right now.
To me,
What's going on, Nick? You said was thinking of getting the X950H. Do you have another recommendation in that range? I would go with the Sony X950G if I'm being honest with you, because even though the 950H is an improvement, you still have more options on the X950G, and I think that's just a shame. Something special. So, what are you guys playing Back to the Future? I gotta mute that. You guys can't be doing that. That's like an instant copyright strike from Universal right there. Like, what are they doing, man? I can't have that. That's crazy, bro. Like real time. I'm like hearing it and I'm like going Back to the Future and I'm like, wait a minute, that's a copyright strike. It's crazy how YouTube gets you to think. So we'll just wait till they're done playing all this copyright music and all that stuff. Because yeah, that would definitely not end well for me. They would claim the video instantly. What's going on, Anthony? You said what is the next Hisense TV? I have no idea. I know a lot of people might believe that I work at Hisense, but I honest to God don't, and I honestly couldn't tell you what they're doing next. So I just hope they get on that patch because I'm beyond out of patience with waiting to see if it's going to fix the black levels or not, and twiddling my thumbs for an unspecified patch at an unspecified date. What's going on? Oh my, oh my. You said I have a question. Is the Hisense 88G an upgrade to the Samsung NU 8000 49-inch? Yeah, but I think you're better off just saving the extra to go up into the Hisense H9G because the difference is literally a massive boost up from where you are, and it's not too much more expensive. Kelly says, "Is it good for the next Xbox? Which is what good for the next Xbox?" Lemonhead said, "Do you think TVs will get better in 2021? Possibly, but they could get worse as we've been seeing. It's all about efficiency and making things cheaper, and when that happens, quality goes to the wayside. So I can't honestly say how that will end up. Now, what's going on? Oh, my mind says thinking about getting the H9 or H8G, but I don't know if I should get the 50 or the 55-inch. I would always, when you get to full array local dimming TVs, go for the most reasonably priced larger size because you are getting more full array local dimming zones at the larger screen sizes versus the smaller sizes that aren't giving you that. And then we've got Scott. You said, "Hey man, how are you?" I'm doing good. Lennon Scott, what's going on? We've got I see. Thank you. Not a problem. How is 1080p on the what is it? How is 1080? How does I'm sorry? How is SD 1080p look on the 86-inch Nano? I wouldn't recommend the Nano 90 for anything. I think if you're looking at it, I would stop because the black levels are bad enough to warrant just looking elsewhere. I think Hisense should update their TV remote because plastic is annoying. I agree. I think it's a very entry level remote, and once you get up to $1,000, you could do better than that. What's going on, Kelly? You said, is the 77-inch C10 good, or is it good for the Xbox, or should I go with a new TV, another TV? I think it's good for Xbox. I don't think there would be a problem with that. I just think the color, particularly with LG, is pretty ugly, especially the color red, and I think that's what they need to fix. Now we've got a world premiere here, so let's see if it's anything worth our time. It doesn't look like it. It kind of looks like an indie game, but I don't know. Let's see what they've got going here. They kill me with all these like trailers and stuff. I'm gonna kill the audio just in case they play some like copyrighted music. But it really gets annoying. They're like Gamescom, and then they're like showing trailers, and I'm like, great. So like, what you mean to say is like instant copyright claim, which would just be absolutely annoying. So you know how it is. All right, so we've got Bradley. You said, do you recommend the Samsung Q80T or Q90 for the next gen consoles? Q90, the Q80T is too dim by comparison, and it won't be worth the investment. I think I'll just get the H9G then. It's 650 for what I'm seeing at Best Buy. I would just do that. It is the better option. Just make sure if you get the Hisense H9G, you do not put your Wi-Fi in because that will destroy the TV black levels, and that's just as honest as it can get. Right now, I'm still waiting on a patch from Hisense. I've heard no word back. I saw they commented on my video, which I thought was pretty cool, but honestly speaking, there was nothing recently about, you know, black level fixes or anything like that, which it so desperately needs at this point. Uh, you said HD quality stream at Nerdy Biceps. I don't know what you mean. HD quality stream at Nerdy Biceps. I guess it's like a plug for somebody else's channel. I mean, by all means, if you want to go watch somebody else, you can do that. What are we seeing now in the chats? We've got, damn, I looked at the specs. H9G doesn't say it has HDMI 2.1. Yes. And I want to put this out there for everybody who is also noticing like there is no HDMI 2.1 on the new Hisense and other TVs as you look around. Do not get hung up about that specification. You will find it to be very difficult for a lot of these brand new TVs to hit 120 hertz with I'm not 120 hertz, but the 120 frames a second on the new consoles is going to be difficult past racing games and indie games because not even a 2080 Ti on the most powerful graphics card, powerful PC rig can do that. And I'm telling you, it's that kind of limitation is going to hold over. You're going to need like deep learning super sampling to be able to pull off something similar. And I mean, good luck there, you know? So I think 4K 60 is what we should expect across the board from the new stuff, but I wouldn't be too hard on, you know, other things that don't have it. So that's just as honest as I could be there, man. And now we're gonna try to listen to what they say here. I don't know what they've got going, but let's try to listen.
Oh, hello, miss.
Happy Giant. That looks like garbage. There's not a game I would play at all. Who would stay tuned for more information on that?
The return of Sam and Max. Yes. All right. And now it's time to say hello to my wonderful co-host for ONL from IGN. Please say hello to Sydney Goodman.
Thank you, Jeff. What's up, everyone?
They've had so many IGN girls over the years. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't even keep up.
And throughout the show tonight, I'll be telling you about all the different ways that IGN is involved in this year's festivities.
I don't really care. I just want to see
I have
games.
an award to announce. The winner of Best Nintendo Switch Game is Little Nightmares 2. Huge congratulations.
That's the best.
Like I said,
That's pretty
IGN is
stupid.
going to be here for all of Gamescom with great shows such as the Gamescom Studio, where you can find me and my co-hosts for all day long. Gamescom
Nobody cares.
interviews
I mean,
and
literally everybody's here just for
we have
games.
Gamescom Awesome Indies, the show with and for indie developers. That premieres Saturday, August 29th at 7 p.m.
I'll be sure to miss it. I hate indie games. Next.
For more announcements and special guests. And now let's go back to Jeff for our next big world premiere.
It better be big.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sid. We are so excited to see what's in the Gamescom studio and also Awesome Indies. And I'm going to be on the daily.
Oh my
show
God,
tomorrow.
shut up and show the games. This is like the last game conference we did here.
In the next World of Warcraft expansion, players will journey beyond the mortal world of Azeroth to a place where no living soul has set foot before. The Shadowlands, the
Marketing. Let the game talk for itself.
realms of the Shadowlands are watched over by different factions known as Covenant.
I hate when they do this. They're about to show you something and then they stand up there and they just plug it.
Depending on how someone lived their mortal life, they may end up as part of one of these covenants when they cross
boy.
over into the Shadowlands. Today, we're excited to give you a closer look at the noble and pure Kyrian Covenant from the realm of Bastion, who are charged with carrying
Oh my
the
God,
souls
he's still
of the
talking.
dead into the beyond.
Maybe I'm just really short on patience, but I hate when they do this.
For the world premiere of Bastion, the first in Blizzard Entertainment's new 4-part series of animated shorts called Afterlives. Enjoy.
Would you like to sign me up for a Power Rewards card as well? Jesus Christ, that was a lot to get out. What are these graphics supposed to be? This is lame. All right, what are you guys saying in the comments here? Uh, you're a nice guy. Respect, man. I appreciate that. Thanks, Aditya. Should you get 4K TV or an 8K TV? I would get 4K. 8K in 2020 is just stupid. Anybody buying that is just gonna be left behind when they come out with real 8K TVs. And you're gonna have to upgrade again, just like all the early adopters of 4K TVs. What do you like for a 75-inch TV? I don't like 75. I don't recommend anything bigger than 65. Next year, 2021, there's not going to be a lot of games with 120 hertz. I don't think even as we get beyond that, there'll be a lot of games with that. That's a really hard metric that even the top end PC can't really hold. I think maybe they might settle for maybe 1440 or like, you know, 1080p at 120 hertz, but a 4K 120 native 4K at that's gonna be really, really tough on like every machine, dude. Uh, what is the best 55-inch I can get? It depends on your usage. Next game, I agree. I pulled the trigger and I got the H9G. You're correct. While there's few games, I would love to play at the 4K at 120 hertz, such as Gran Turismo 7, uh, COD, Cold World, and Dirt 5. Most honestly are going to be 4K 60. Yeah, I mean it's just hardware stuff, you know. You're not going to be able to pull out 4K at 120 hertz under $1,000, and that's what everybody's expecting on these new consoles. And I think Sony and Xbox are a little deceptive in the way that they're marketing their consoles, because they're not telling people outright like there are differences. Yes, you can have deep learning super sampling, but that is not the same as having, you know, this ultra powerful PC that is also struggling, and they're way behind in T-flop count, which isn't the only metric, but there are other things that would be a challenge when you're talking about that resolution and refresh rate. But that's neither a conversation for here or now, right? We've got Crimson Fi. You said best TV for watching movies, not caring about 120 hertz. Well, if you just care about watching movies, the world's really open to you. Anything that recognizes a 24p signal would be pretty good. So the TCL 6 series, that's a really good TV. The one I just bashed that everybody thinks I hate, it actually has some strong points. The movie watching is actually one of the stronger points. Even though the black bars did get sour on my panel, if we wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt, the motion is pretty smooth when you watch movies. Hisense H9G, that's also another strength there, and those extra highlights do come into play, making movies incredible. And in fact, I'll go a step further and say the Hisense H9G is the best HDR TV I own in this house right now, just simply because of the 24p synchronization and the black levels, not black levels, the brightness levels that I'm able to pull out of the thing. And then after that, you'll be good with virtually any Sony out there, because Sony has 24p synchronization as well, making things really smooth. I would start at the 950H, and then I would go up to like the A8H, and then go from there. I think once you start talking about Samsung, it gets a little messy. I don't like Samsung TVs for movie watching. I think they do a really bad job of representing motion for movies compared to everyone else that is not doing the or that is doing the 24p synchronization. So it's a really difficult thing there. Then you have LG. I don't recommend them because their black levels are pretty bad, especially until you get up into OLED. But then OLED has black crush, and you know, I just don't mess with that. And when they don't, they have sour reds because they haven't figured out how to process that correctly. Let's see, then you have Vizio. I don't really like Vizio because they have serious motion problems that are really jarring. The TCL this year, while an improvement off of last year, definitely does still have some motion problems, so it's not going to be ideal. Let's see, what other TVs are there? I'm US based, so I don't have the ability to look at Panasonic or some of the other European options you guys have been asking me about. All in all, that's pretty much it that I can really think about. But yeah, I mean, I would either go TCL, Hisense, or Sony if you were looking seriously for movie watching. That would be the better bet. So long-winded way of answering your question, but I hope that really helped out. All right, let's see. Nothing else in the comments here. It's weird how they like talk about these like world premieres, and it's just pretty bad. We've got On My Mind. You said it's pretty funny how Sony TVs aren't gaming friendly compared to other brands when Sony makes the PlayStation consoles. Yeah, and that's what kind of has me realizing like early on, Sony knows the limitation of their PlayStation 5. If they had the super ultra powerful machine that could do 4K at 120 hertz, don't you think their entire line would have supported it? But they're trying to get you away from thinking that way because they know that they're not ready. they absolutely know that they're not ready for 120 hertz gaming at native 4K. And so, honestly speaking, I don't think anybody should expect more than 4K 60, which puts you right back into HDMI 2.0. I further think this because most game developers and gaming manufacturers target the mass consumer with these gaming consoles, and the mass consumer has HDMI 2.0 TVs when they upgrade, because not everybody has a lot of money to throw at HDMI 2.1, which is just now becoming a thing. And so the most majority of people will only have HDMI 2.0, therefore they're only going to target that. So 4K 60 is likely going to be the ideal target that they're going to set for a lot of these games. And even still, there's no mandate to hit that from any manufacturer, Xbox or Microsoft. And I think that's going to play a lot into how games develop as well. So it's a messy little world that we've got going here in the gaming industry, but it is what it is. That's ultimately why I went PC, though, because I'm sick of being locked by the developer and not having control over my games. Not to mention, if you ever, like, and I'm not trying to convert you, right? You like what you like. I mean, I still have consoles. I'm streaming this right now off of my Xbox One X, but I tell you right now, if you ever make the switch to PC, one of the best things about PC gaming, don't care what anyone would tell you, is emulation. Playing all your classic games, N64, GameCube, Wii, PlayStation 2, all that on your computer. I mean, that's just powerful. It's just the greatest thing. I highly recommend it to anybody who's like me from the classic generation of gaming. Now let's see what they have to say. Hopefully they have something good here. I can't review the Panasonic. I'm only in the US, so we don't have access to that. Sorry, man. What is this, another world premiere? What is this? On July 10th, 2020. Like, come on. Or whatever it is. September at this point. I mean, fuck. Can we do something? I think that's even November. I don't know. I'm so flustered by how bad these trailers and these games have been, right? Like, everything's a commercial. Everything's dramatic marketing. It's like, show me games that will throw the Xbox out of the window. And I'm not seeing that. And, you know, people can make the argument we're not on Xbox Series X and PS5 yet, but, like, I just think it's annoying that, like, we still aren't seeing the power of these next-generation consoles through these game trailers or developers yet. You know, even end-of-life graphics could show us something more than this. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima is a perfect example of that, and I'm just not seeing the extra effort here. I mean, this looks like an Xbox 360 game, this Warcraft game, and I'm just not impressed by it at all. Like, it's an expansion and everything, but I don't know. Not impressed by it. I wish I can get into PC gaming, but I'm just afraid of the amount of issues that can happen with PC gaming. Like what, man? Run it past me. What issues are you worried about? Because I believe I've had almost all of them. Yeah, I think the same. It kind of looks like Xbox One. LOL. 360. Damn. Okay, you're harsher than me. Yeah, it looks bad, man. I don't know what they're doing. It looks like really bad graphics. I mean, like, even this opening trailer, does this captivate you and scream next gen? Like, that's really bugging me, you know?
Celestial realm were thrown open. Our last
what is this, though? Like, this is... Ooh, boy. If this is next gen, man. This is not a strong showing at all. Like, you had all this time because of the coronavirus, right? And you'd think that, you'd be sitting there in your studio making the most breathtaking games with all this extra time. And with all that extra time, this is the best you've... Oh, boy. Jeez. I'm just waiting for Demon Slayer 2021. I mean, at this point, this is just sad, dude.
Now, you guys may remember back in June,
Crash 4.
Fun with my buddy Crash Bandicoot announcing Crash 4 It's About Time. With the game coming in October, Crash, of course, had to come back for opening night live. So let's bring him out, everybody. Crash Bandicoot.
Please don't be a guy in a suit.
What? He's where?
Oh, God. Oh, God. I call... And he's wearing a fucking mask! Bro, they need to chill with this. Oh, my God. What the fuck is that? Oh my God, you're already in a suit. The suit is your mask. Jesus Christ. These are the same people wearing buckets on their head in the grocery store. Oh my God. Let it go, Elsa. Let it go. Oh, I'm cringing so hard right now for you guys that don't know. Oh, this is so irritating. Please just show the trailer.
Apparently didn't get the memo about Gamescom, but to tell us more about what we just saw,
Oh
we're
my god,
joined
that was
by
just
Lou
bad.
Southern from Toys for Bob. Lou, what did we see there with Crash
We
and
saw an idiot in
Gamescom
a
5?
suit wearing a mask on top of the suit. That's what we saw.
Apparently, you saw him wandering around Cologne, but
Oh god,
what
just
he was
show
hinting
it.
at was kind of our reveal of what we call flashback tapes, which are a brand new style of level that we are
That's not a
announcing here today.
reveal. A reveal is you
So,
show
how do
us.
these
Like, oh
flashback
my
levels
god,
kind
is
of
this what
play
they're
into
gonna
the
call
overall
gameplay?
Crash
I
4
hope
game?
not.
Yeah, so the way that the flashback tape levels work is that they are
You know,
kind
I
of
hate when they
peek
want to
back
talk
in
about it,
time to the
but they don't want to
90s
show it.
when Neocortex was actually testing on Crash and Coco
Oh, for
before the events
Christ's
of
sake.
Crash Bandicoot 1. And they're kind of these devious puzzle rooms that we've made.
We'll shut him up for now. We'll
And
see what you guys are saying here. We've got Earth Monster AZ. You said got a 900H. Honestly, it's a decent TV for my use. I was late to your reviews and on your channel. I use it mostly for gaming. I did it to get less than an MSRP. Wouldn't pay more for it though. And you said, I enjoy your reviews and your honesty. You gained a sub. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Quantum Nation. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the X900H is the worst TV I've ever seen. It's not. It's just compared to other things for less money, like the High Sensation 9G and even the TCL. The H9G and the TCL R635 are better options for less money, and that's just as real as it gets. Even though I'm not a fan of TCL and what they did with their TV and the quality control stuff, but either way, it is still a better option in my opinion than that Sony because there's no color management system. And I was talking about that earlier today in my video, and that's a big deal, right? We're talking about professional calibrations, we're talking about low delta errors. I don't care how low your delta error is after you do a white balance calibration. When you go in and then you have a color irregularity or an issue with a certain color or problem color, you can't fix that at all because it just doesn't have that ability. You have to, with Sony, pay more money to step up into the X950H to have the same exact color management system that you have on lower tier priced TVs like the H9G and R635. So it's really irritating for me to see that. And then to see Digital Trends come out in their review bash the Hisense from the start and then be so unfair and then mention an issue that is almost exactly the same on Sony and Sony actually does it worse. So I don't know. I just really felt the type of way about that. I really felt like that was really kind of not fair of them. So now we've got what looks to be like more shooting games. Does it, I mean those graphics as they zoomed up, that looks really really bad. I don't know if it's their feed, but that looked really bad as well. So I don't know what they're doing there. Enoch, you said if a person wants to stream 8K video, what is the major requirement to stream in 8 megabytes per second, megabits or 8 gigabits? What in MGB per second? I don't really know right now. Um, Honestly, I haven't really looked at the specs on how much you'll need to stream 8K and all that stuff. I know 4K can get pretty taxing. I've seen numbers high past like 25 and things like that. So it really does depend. I honestly couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but it is what it is there. I really couldn't tell you. Uh, Wears a mask and touches people's hands. Lame. LOL. Yeah, pretty much. I thought that was pretty lame. I don't get it. Why they have the guy dress up in a suit which covers your entire face? You're completely safe, but then you're wearing a mask on top of that. That's just. I mean, come on, man. Do we really have to do that? I don't know. That was excessive. That was stupid to me. Anthony, what's going on? You said, what is the best monitor for next gen consoles? I see a lot of people talking a lot about the brand new Predator monitor. So I really don't know though, because I haven't checked a whole lot of monitors to be honest with you. What is this now? Is this a Red Bull commercial? What the hell is happening here? I mean, it's like they know people are streaming this and they're doing everything they can to get it copyrighted. I'm glad I muted it though, because I don't know if they would have played some copyright song. That would have sucked for me. Paul, what's going on? You said, hi, just for movies watching, or just for movie watching, would you recommend the H9G TCL or the new Vizio? For movie watching, let's see. I haven't seen the Vizio yet. That still has to come later on. Um, it's hard. Going off of what I know so far, I would say I would go with the TCL for movie watching if you want deeper black levels on small bright highlights. However, if you want the best color, then you'd have to go with Hisense. That's what I would say at this point in time. Albeit I have not had the chance to look at um, what is it, Vizio yet. I'm like dreading this right now because I see Captain Sabusa and I'm like, fuck, this is a Bandai game. They copyright everything and I already know what they're gonna do. So this is a pain in the ass. I'm gonna have to fight this video tooth and nail. But it is what it is. Let's see. We've got Miles, what's going on? You said repent your sins, resurrected, I don't know, some religious stuff here. We've got Slick Money, what's going on? You said LGC10 or R635. LGC10 hands down, no competition. Done. That's as easy as that gets. Why? I'll give you a why. Simply put, even though I don't like the color of the LGC10, you can calibrate it with experience, so you can get it better than that. But also, you do have a game mode that is pretty fleshed out. So you have HGIG, which, tone mapping capabilities are great, which TCL doesn't have. And unlike TCL, your game mode isn't washing out your color and locking your color to 45. Nobody wants that. I mean, that was the THX game mode is a joke. It's really bad. And I don't think anybody who's being honest with themselves would look at what you see with that game mode and be like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. So I think that's just where I'll have to leave that. But yeah, no, and not to mention, pixel level illumination, OLED is OLED for a reason. It does get dark and it makes every little detail stand out. I get that part. And the mini LED claim that it's supposed to get as close to OLED as possible. Black levels are supposed to be the next best thing up from full array. Not happening yet. So I definitely think, just go OLED if you're really serious about black levels. Now we've got Chin Tupat. What's going on, man? Nice to see you. Bradley, you said I can't figure out what TV to buy for next generation. 1500 Dark Room. I think for $1,500. I mean, you could either wait till 2021. That's my biggest recommendation for anybody looking for true next gen gaming. You want HDMI 2.1, 120 hertz if they support it. Then I think you're going to have to go with a TV down the road because a TV right now not necessarily going to give you all that. But ultimately speaking, I think it is what it is, right? Our market right now is bad. They're downgrading and TVs aren't the greatest, so it's going to be hard. If you throw out a couple models, though, I can help you narrow the field. Zartan, what's going on? You said not that dreadful R635. Yeah, it's dreadful, though it does have some strong areas. I think Hisense will be like $750 next year. Who knows? I agree. We have High Quantum, LG, or Samsung, which is Kings of Kings. Honestly speaking, Samsung has been getting worse every year. Now they're at an all-time low where I don't even recommend a single one of their TVs that's not Q90T level or higher. So I honestly say that off that merit alone, they're kind of in the same boat with LG because LG does the same thing. So I think they're equivalent at this point with how bad they do suck as far as the picture quality standpoint goes. We have TCL pay people money to talk good about their TVs, like the TCL R635. I mean, I would imagine, I guess, I don't know, but there's something clearly going on when people are just glowing, it seems, about the TCL and ignoring literally every single flaw that it has. Let's say Quantum TV had a bad panel, yeah? Okay. Does that still excuse the fact that the app crashed and you can't calibrate their THX game mode? No. Does it excuse the fact that, you still have motion problems? No. Does it excuse the fact that the Hisense is still brighter for the same price point? No. I mean, there are a list of things that it doesn't excuse just because, let's for argument's sake say I have a bad panel and my black levels are unlike anyone else's in the world. I mean, I still think there are a great many of things it's not doing that it would need to do to be glowed about, and to the extent that people are giving it all this credit and saying TCL is great, and then right down to giving Roku of all platforms the kind of granularity that they're giving it. It's just adulation at this point. And I'm sick of it. So I think it's one of those things that a lot of people are doing because honestly, maybe there is a payment involved, maybe there's not. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't talked to these people personally, but if I had to guess, I would say there's some kind of money changing hand because typically, people like to use their influence to promote products on YouTube because it's a marketing platform and that's just the kind of behavior that's allowed. Now, oddly enough, if you were to do the same thing in a retail store and you would falsely advertise, you could get sued on fraud or false advertisement. But on YouTube, because they're just people with quotation mark opinions, it's safe. You can say whatever you want and it's completely like okay, say whatever you please even if it's fake. And I hate this practice cuz like if anyone that is from the mainstream or anyone from the AV community is watching my video right now, you can make your money and be successful without lying. You do not have to lie to collect money. You don't. And it bugs me because like I want a society where we can just say what it is and it's not like I'm the crazy person or you're the crazy person. Like we could all do just fine just telling the truth. So that's what I'm trying to promote here. So let's hope it takes off. But even if it doesn't, I'll still do what I do. We have Bradley said, thanks for the great info, brother. I appreciate it. We have Zartan, you said, yeah, Samsung crapped the bed this year. They really did, though. Every budget Samsung TV is for. I'm kind of losing patience with it, running out of battery here and I'm getting bored. I'm about ready to call it. It's boring, and here's another thing that's going to be copyrighted. They got Jerry the King Lawler right here. I mean, look what, why are you showing this stuff? Like, it's like this event was made not to be shown. It's crazy. But yeah, what even is this wrestling game right now? This is so stupid. It's like now he's on fire and he's jumping up in the air. We don't know how WWE 2K20 turned out. That game was an absolute disaster. Nobody liked it. And their response to that is to cancel the 2K franchise this year and to come out with this hot garbage that looks like a Xbox 360 game, literally WWE Superstars remade. Like, are you kidding me right now? Or WWE All Stars, but remade. Like, what is that blocky ass graphic style? Like, oh my god, like this is like N64 polished up. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, this is trash. And this is kind of been what I'm seeing in 2020. Like garbage after garbage after garbage with these games come out and they'll show you some outlandish stuff and say buy it because it's cool. I'm like, oh boy, I'm over it. I don't know. Have you guys seen anything worth your time so far with Gamescom? Because I'm just seeing more of the same thing. Indie games. Like, who here, honest poll, takes indie games into consideration when they buy games? Do you actually buy indie games, or is it just me that's, being the crazy person here and not buying them? Honestly, trying to know that. All right, so let's see. We have more questions coming in, and we have, oh yeah, no, so that was old. Those are all the old questions there. Okay, so that's good. We've answered everybody, so that's good. At the very least, I'm staying up on the chat here, and we're keeping everybody taken care of here. But yeah, man, that's some bullshit, man. They're really botching this event. At least I think so. There's supposed to be so much happening here, but I don't really see anything or hear anything worth my time.
Hello again.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm not crazy. It is pretty bad, yeah.
The winner of Best Action Adventure Game is Watch Dogs Legion.
I would never play Watch Dogs again. They went very political, very SJW, and I'm not with it. After like Watch Dogs 1, it was kind of all downhill for me personally. They didn't have the main character come back. They didn't tell the story. It was just pretty bad.
Best Action Game is Star Wars Squadrons.
Is it though? I hate cinematic trailers. Just show us gameplay, because it will never look like that.
Of Best Multiplayer Game is Operation Tango.
Who here wants to play Operation Tango? I know that's that hot fire. You didn't want Halo Infinite, you wanted Operation Tango. You didn't want Gran Turismo 7, you want Operation Tango. These game developers are very out of touch, or they really don't care because they know they'll make millions either way.
The winner of Best Indie Game is Curious Expedition.
The whole thing is indie games. That's the best indie game? What, that looks like PS1. What am I missing? Okay there, guy. Whatever you say.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Oh.
As we mentioned, IGN will be here for all of Gamescom with great
This
shows
was trash.
and ways for you to get all your gaming news. Check it out.
Gamescom 2020 is the heart of gaming.
Oh boy, I think they're done. I don't think they have anything left. Oh boy. Yeah, that was a waste of time. All these game press conferences in 2020 are a waste of time. I bought the X950G 7 months ago, and now I feel like the picture quality isn't as good. You said not sure if it's the broadcast, NBA, or what. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Sony TVs have been getting downgraded year after year as well. So it's really hard to say. Is the A8G A9G close to the A8G when it comes to Sony quality? If I can't find the A8G for the right price, yes, it is close to the same quality. It is. I just highly recommend you go with the A8G because I'm telling you right now, as far as OLEDs, I haven't seen one as powerful as this one able to do this. Not like chipset wise, but I mean like from a burn in perspective. You guys have no idea the abuse this thing takes. I literally, for honest to God, 5 hours at a time will sit there emulating my games, like literally trying to figure out things and solving PC problems and like all kinds of stuff. And I mean, hours I'll be here. The same static logos, same everything, never turn off HUDs, no burning whatsoever yet. Not to say it'll never happen, but I'm good. I'm very good. And I gotta say, it has everything to do with the way that Sony's algorithm hones in on those bright areas of the screen, dims them down, keeps them dim. And then when you go out and you go into something brighter, it'll change. So I think it's really good. Yeah, I like this TV a lot. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, no, I think the A8, the A9G is close. It is. It definitely is close, but the A8 does have better color and slightly better motion as well. We've got uh, they say congrats to all the winners, more like congrats to all the losers. Exactly. Thanks for keeping manufacturers honest. I know calibration is per panel, but any plans to maybe offer broad stroke calibrations for TV reviews that you do? Unfortunately, the channel isn't like sponsored by anybody. I don't do conflict of interest and things like that, so I have to keep the channel funded somehow, and that's why I have members. So, my settings and offering that exclusively to them is a way of building the channel up and staying in operation so that we can keep up with everybody else. Because honestly speaking, it's a very competitive field, and these TVs aren't cheap, and I buy all of them retail models, and you know how it is. So it's not something that I would be able to do for everybody. And a general broad stroke for everybody's TV, I think that would be incredibly difficult to do because every time I try to do a universal setting, there's always one TV or two TVs out there that just don't recognize it as a universal thing. So it's a very difficult thing to pull off. I don't know if I'd be successful at doing that. And then we've got what would you recommend for a sports lover that watches through an NVIDIA Shield? Honestly, I couldn't tell you because I don't watch sports personally. Hey, was wondering if the Vizio M Series 2021 is any good. I would give it a look. I've heard good things about it. But I also heard that it was sub 1,000 nits. So for that price point, I think you can do better. That's a personal opinion, though. But I would give it a look if you wanted to try it out. But yeah, that's pretty much where we are. So far, though, guys, as I'm looking at Gamescom, I'm just gonna call it now. I don't think they're gonna show us anything that's mind blowing or game changing. And if they do, I mean, I don't think they're gonna. It's been a lot of indie games and a lot of stuff that looks like last gen graphics, so I'm gonna call it right here. I'm pretty bored. He was like, "Hey, I was wondering if the Vizio M series, I got that one. Thoughts on the Hisense H8G for bedroom TV? I think it's a good TV. I think you should give it a chance. Also, though, I think for the same price, maybe if you could step up a little bit and get the H9G, you'd be a lot more happy with that TV. 43-inch TV for our streaming movies recommendation. I think that's a hard size to find. I'd have to really go back to looking, but I think Vizio right now, they're the only ones with a solid 43-inch. Maybe the Samsung 50T or 50R, Q50R, something like that. Can't remember the models off the top of my head right now. Those are about the only good 43-inch TVs that I know of, at least that I could remember anyway. But yeah, this has been a total disappointment, man. As far as like Gamescom, haven't seen a single thing that really steps out. So I don't know. What are they gonna say here? Let's see.
To share from a galaxy far, far away today at Star Wars Galaxy Edge.
The Q60T is a terrible TV. I would not buy that television.
Or jump into the Millennium Falcon on a run to Smuggler's Cove. It was this incredible adventure at Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World Resort that inspired the Sims.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else.
Check this out.
Why do I feel like they're gonna play copyrighted stuff? Okay, because they are playing some movie stuff. What is this? I don't know. Sims 4 Star Wars stuff. I mean, Sims 4 is some bullshit. Like they need to be on Sims 5 with like Unreal Engine 4 at the least, and they haven't done that yet. They're milking the hell out of this game with all the expansion packs, and it's disgusting. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's just like Dragon Ball Xenoverse. The same game over and over, no new games. Rockstar not showing Grand Theft Auto 5 or 6 rather. They're 7. I don't even know what they're on anymore. I think 6. Somebody educate me because I don't really play Grand Theft Auto. I know it's been a long time since they made the new one. It's the 6th one because the 5th one is the one where they just keep milking it with all the damn DLC. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's a joke. All right, peace out, man. Yeah, guys, I'm about ready to check out too. I mean, I'm not seeing anything noteworthy. I think Gamescom is a waste of your time and mine. So I want to thank you guys and thank you, Justin. Yeah, the 6th one I figured. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything worth our time here, man. But yeah, if you guys have questions, just make sure you drop them on this video. I'll try to answer them the best I can. But yeah, this has been pretty disappointing. I haven't really seen much that they've done differently from all the years prior. So it is what it is. I want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty and being a part of this live stream. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.